Hi people. So I want to talk to you about spearmint. Oh, it's an awesome herb. It's a perennial, so you know how we were talking about perennials. That's something that comes up every year. Oh, have to get my garden gloves on. You know, you don't want dirty fingers. Yeah, we talked about that before. So spearmint, one of my favorite herbs because it tastes so beautiful. You can clip it out of the garden and chop it fresh onto recipes. What I usually do with spearmint is I dry it and I make it into a tea because it makes an awesome tea. Spearmint tea is great for women's hormones. You know, the old menopause thing and PMS thing, and we have to go through all this stuff when we're a woman. You know, childbirth isn't enough. You have to go through everything. So spearmint helps to balance women's hormones. And I think that's awesome because, you know, we need all the help we can get because it's not fun. So a nice cup of spearmint tea will not only de-stress you, but it will help to balance those hormones. So that's awesome. I do have a little patch of spearmint that's ready for to be harvested. So as my cousin Wendy would say, harvest only what you need. Say thank you to the plant and then allow it to continue on because you don't want to harvest too much of it. So, you know, I do listen and I do learn. So we're going to harvest spearmint and I'm going to dry it. So I have my twine ready because you put it into a bundle and you just hang it. Hang it from anywhere. Your kitchen, somewhere in your kitchen, in your garden shed. I like the garden shed because I open the doors and that way a breeze can go through and the heat can get at it. So when you dry herbal teas, this is from my cousin Wendy because she's way smarter than I am when it comes to herbs. Her advice, and of course it makes sense, dry your herbs really, really well. Make sure they are absolutely dry before you put them in a jar because if you don't, that moisture will cause mold and you do not want mold in your body. It's not cool. So spearmint, stress reliever and women's hormones, balances your hormones. So let's take a peek and you know, because I'm the cameraman again, hang on, we'll put this down so you can see a close-up of the spearmint. And I have to say this tripod is awesome. Okay, so I think you can see that. And, oh, I have to tell you something else about spearmint that I found out by accident. Remember I was telling you about the beautiful things in a garden that you find out by accident. Well, this is my first year planting spearmint and I found out that it is a beautiful, beautiful ground cover. So I'm actually going to plant some in my flower garden because I'm always looking at ways to keep the weeds down. Spearmint is awesome because it likes to crawl in and out of areas and it doesn't seem too invasive with the other plants. It seems to be quite polite. So yes, I'm going to plant it as a ground cover in my flower garden because it's a beautiful, you'll see here, beautiful ground cover. So this is where I planted it and it has moseyed on right over there and right over here, right to my rhubarb. So it's kind of made its way here and then over here. So I have a lot of spearmint to gather today. But again, my cousin Wendy says, you know, don't get selfish. Just take what you need and let the plant don't take too much. Just take what you need. So I'm snipping this spearmint. Love it. So I'm taking the tall ones, obviously, because they're ready to be snipped. For me, I don't think you can ever have too much spearmint. Spearmint tea in the wintertime, one of my favorite things. And if it's good for women and their hormones, I don't think you can ever have too much that's helping you with that. Oh, I have a tall one over here. We'll get this guy. When you're picking spearmint, take a minute, just smell, it's beautiful. I mean, when you think of spearmint gum, how awesome it is, yeah, that's where it comes from. It was a plant at one time. Okay, so I think I've got a nice batch of spearmint here. That's amazing. So take a peek at how beautiful that is. And you have to smell it. It's so awesome. I can't smell it enough. So get my little spearmint package here. So that is going to make some beautiful tea. But I also like to chop it up fresh and put it with, you know, some meats or just in your salad. Put some spearmint in your salad, it'll be awesome. So it's great fresh. It's also, if you put it in a freezer bag in the freezer, and then when you need some to chop into a recipe, take a little bit out, chop it up, it's awesome. From the freezer, it keeps really well. So that's cool. So I'm going to get some twine. And I'm just going to tie it. Tie it in a knot because you don't want it to come down on you from wherever you're hanging it. There, I'm going to hang the spearmint and it will dry for me, and I'm going to make some beautiful tea. So to recap, women and our hormones, right? It's a tough situation. So spearmint helps alleviate hormonal imbalances. And what's a beautiful way to do that is to have a cup of spearmint tea. It also de-stresses. So yeah, one of my favorite things, spearmint from the garden. So, you know, subscribe, view the videos, share with your friends, and let's all learn about gardening. Have a great day.